Well, hey, you filming me while I'm relaxing, huh? Yeah. Well, hey, why don't we give them a little update on our tomatoes over here? Oh! Already made one video about this, but this is our tomato trellis system. It's almost 10 foot tall, probably 9 foot. Got some twine coming down, attached it down to PVC. Down at the bottom here, I got to tie a slip knot so I can let some of this out if I wanted to. But anyway, the idea is to support these tomatoes, support the main stalk. Technically, I guess if I wanted a really big fruit or whatever, I would trim off all the side stalks and I'd concentrate on the one main vine coming up here, but I didn't really want to do that. I had a lot of blooms on here, so I kind of let them bush out a little bit. We've got plenty of room. But basically what I've been doing is as these grow, like here's an example, this Chadwick Cherry. As it's growing, I've just been kind of weaving this thing around, you know, kind of lifting, pulling up on it while I'm doing it too. Just weaving it around. Try not to break it. Like that. And in about, a week or two, there'll be probably another 6 inches. And I'll just kind of work my way around. The other thing I'm doing as I'm going through here is I'm looking in the armpits. Like here's one I already snapped off. I'm just snapping off the little suckers before they get going. That way this plant doesn't become choked with all kinds of foliage. It's got enough room where you can see everything. There's a lot of air circulation. But here, let's zoom in on some of this fruit. Look at that, Chadwick cherries. A bunch of cluster there, cluster here, cluster there. Oh, another thing I'm doing that I kind of learned yesterday. So when I'm seeing, you know, a new set of blossoms form, I just take it and I shake it. Tomatoes are self-pollinating. They've got the male and female parts in the flower, and so you just need to jostle it. You can flick it, shake it, but do that, you know, every day, and increase the likelihood that tomatoes will form. That's kind of a neat little trick. One problem I've been having though, I don't know if we can highlight one that's doing it now. Yeah, actually, let's go down here to our rows. Okay, right here. There should be blossoms on here, but they fell off. I mean, they came on and everything, but then they kind of shriveled up and died. And what I learned is that this plant was under a little bit of stress. And stress could be it's either too hot, it's too moist. And since I've been babying these, I was probably overwatering them. So I cut back on that. It seemed to do the trick. Seems like it's kind of snapping out of its funk, and there's new sets of blossoms forming. But this got some cool fruit on too. Zoom down there. Big old fat tomato. This is Rose. It's a pink tomato, heirloom type. Most of these are about 4 foot tall now. The most vigorous have been the Rose and the Chadwick Cherry. Those are probably closer to 5 foot. So halfway up the trellis, we got till October to see if they'll make it to the top. But it's not being all, you know, they've been pretty healthy, but there have been some pests. Let's zoom in on this. There's had some caterpillars, tomato worms, hornworms, or whatever. When you start seeing little holes in the foliage, you know that there's a caterpillar somewhere around. And sure enough, I found about 2. Just picked them off and killed them. So again, by snapping off at the armpits and just kind of being selective, you know, and you can prune anywhere you want really, but you try to want to do that there in the armpits. You can see things a lot better, and it's easier to catch the little pests that affecting our plants here. Let's see, anything else? Oh, down on the bottom, you zoom in at the bottom, the base. One thing to protect the tomatoes from soil-borne diseases, I've mulched these with grass clippings and mostly grass clippings. Good mulch around there, and it's kind of thin there at the stem. You know, I got it about 1.5 inches out from the base of the plant. But anyway, the idea there is when I water them, it prevents soil splash. So that way it doesn't, you know, soil-borne disease doesn't get on the foliage or the stems and stuff. Haven't had any problems with blight, which is a good thing. At least not on these this year. Last year I had one that kind of succumbed to the blight, but this year they're all really healthy, no real issues other than the caterpillars munching on them and the blossoms falling off. I do have one. Let's go down here. I do have a couple that have blossom end rot. See that black splotch here? Hopefully it'll come out of that, but this is a fungal, just a disease they get when either A, they're not watered frequently enough, or B, there is a calcium deficiency. So I think there's a calcium deficiency here because this is all new. We extended out this past year, and so there probably wasn't enough calcium. So what I did is I took a bunch of TUMS, crushed them up, and let them sit for a while. I think 24 little tablets of TUMS and a 3-gallon pail of water, and I did that twice. Put calcium. This TUMS is basically calcium carbonate. A bunch of calcium in there. I've done eggshells, which is kind of a long-term thing too. So I'm hoping that keeps the rest of these, and I think it will because the blight has kind of stopped. Instead of consuming the whole tomato, it's kind of stopped, and I'm hoping it'll come out of it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Any questions so far? Well, that's it for now. We'll probably another couple weeks do another video on the tomatoes, just see how they're doing and see if they can reach the top. So I guess that's it. Until next time.